I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, December the 15th, brought to you in part by Norfenacol by Norbrook. It is the bioequivalent of Nuflor. It helps you get to the bottom of BRD fast. Keyword is fast. Reaches therapeutic blood levels in the lungs within 30 minutes of administering the drug. That is fast, guys. For more information, go to norbrook.com. All out of pushovers. That's what it appears that the packers have run out of. They've been buying cattle subpar of the market, which I guess the market is whatever they're getting them bought at. Well, they're getting them bought well below last week. If the board crashing is the only reason why fat cattle are cheaper than they were a month ago, so when the board gets better, why doesn't the fat cattle market come back? I don't understand that. We've had a pretty impressive board this week. That was a little lower on Wednesday there, but for the rest of the week it's been higher and very impressive and showing a lot of strength here. And packers still trying to buy cattle $2, $3, $4 lower than what they were buying them last week. And they're getting it done in the Midwest and the Northern Plains. Not a lot of them, but they are getting some bought that way. Why they just succumb to those bids? They think they don't have any other choice. The Southern Plains has not sold anything. Out of the entire Kansas and Texas feedlot areas, they have sold one load of fat cattle. That's it. And I don't blame them if they don't come down and accept those lower bids. I'm not sure if 170 would buy cattle, but we haven't seen 170 being bid anywhere. So I'm not sure if that would do it. 171 would be steady, but they've gotten some bought at 167 and 168 in the Midwest and the Northern Plains. Why they continue to sell them cattle that way, I have no idea. We got some news, some bad news. Somebody taking advantage of people. The SEC, they got emergency relief to halt a $191 million cattle Ponzi scheme. They had 2,100 investors. A company doing business by the name of Agridime. The first thing that I would notice about it, of course, a lot of those investors wouldn't know, and they weren't cattle people. They were people that were wanting to invest in cattle or got talked into investing in cattle. They were promised, huge returns. Too good to be true, which they should probably just use that as a rule of thumb if it's too good to be true. But nobody in the cattle business seems to know them. So that's what's kind of interesting about it. We've had some big failures, and it was big cattle operators doing it, but I don't believe this was a big cattle operator. It was somebody just promising to do big things, but ended up skinning a lot of people there. Let's talk about your board, or actually I want to tell you about a couple of replacement sales. And I told you as we get later in the year here, there's a lot of replacement stock sales. Some people that might want to spend some money before the end of the year, but very impressive sales. One's in Bassett, Nebraska, at Bassett Livestock Auction. You can view and bid there on DVAuction now. They've added that in the last few months here, but we encourage you to get on DVAuction.com and view and bid. They've got a huge offering coming up on, I believe it's on Wednesday, and it's 3,500 head there, and they'll be fancy, guys. They'll be really, really fancy. And it's Wednesday, December the 20th, and they've got complete dispersals, like 4 or 5 huge complete dispersals. 500 head from, or nearly 600 from the Wright outfit, 540 from Garwood, 500 head from the Shovel Dot Ranch, 270 from Stevens. They've got like 1,100 big fancy bred heifers. A lot of them black, some F1 black baldies there, and then some red Angus bred heifers also. So get on to DVAuction.com, call them ahead, get approved to bid, sit back, relax, watch that sale, and pick you up some of those fancy replacements there from where the best cattle in the world come from, right there in the Sand Hills of Nebraska. Also got a sale, New Cambria livestock in New Cambria, Missouri. That's north central Missouri. If some of you people want to spend some money, they've got some fancy cattle there. Going to have close to 1,000 replacements there at New Cambria. Those are good people there. I met them on my last trip up to Missouri. They got fairly new ownership there, but a lot of the same faces too. But they've got a big string of young black baldy bred cows there that due to start calving in late February. So if you're interested in something like that, they've got a lot of bred heifers there, and they'll be the right kind. And then a lot of other smaller consignments of good quality bred cows and heifers there. If you guys are interested, show up there at New Cambria Livestock, right on 36 Highway there in northern Missouri, or get on to DVAuction.com. Talk about your board on Thursday. December live cattle futures were up 55 cents at 167.50. February was up 70 at 167.92. Your back months up 47 to up 90. January feeder cattle up 197 at 219.35. March was up 227 at 220.12. Your back months on feeder cattle up $1.07 to up 252. Big gains. Feeder cattle have really gained it back, guys, in a hurry here. Of course, we're not. I told you we're not going to get to those levels we were at, over a month ago, but still pretty impressive. Let's talk about your corn. March corn down 1/4 cent a bushel at 4.79 1/4. January beans up 6.5 at 13.14. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for March up 4.5 cents at 6.36.5. Fat cattle trade, I griped about that at the beginning of this report. Iowa sold 1,100 head, which is nothing. They've sold less than 5,000, and it's late Thursday. So they've got a lot of business to do on Friday if they're going to do anything. They typically sell 15 to 20,000 even in the meager trade days of today. But the price on Thursday was 167 to 168 live and 266 to 268 dressed. That's all we've seen this week, guys. And it's only been up there. Nebraska sells 2,100 on Thursday, less than 10,000 for the week. 167 to 168 live and 267 dressed. Like I mentioned earlier, Kansas and Texas have sold nothing. We have not got the market established there. And I tell you what, I think if they don't come across with some at least 170, they probably won't sell any cattle down in the southern plains. Box beef cutout values were mixed. Choice cuts up 68 cents at 292.32. Selects down 95 at 258.26. Your slaughter, pretty aggressive, guys. And we're starting to hear of some Saturday schedules being opened again. But 505,000 head harvested cattle up through the first 4 days of the week. That's 3,000 more than last week at this time. 20,000 more than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Performance Livestock Analytics. They want to help smaller producers compete. Performance Beef is as easy to use as your cell phone, and it will help you simplify your feeding, your performance, and your health. For more information, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DVAuction late in the day on Thursday. Based on your 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states, sitting at 220.26, up 174. So gaining some good ground there. That's your precursor to the CME. The latest available on them was 217.84, so it's coming up, guys. Don't forget, they've got a feeder special in Fallon, Nevada at Nevada Livestock Marketing. I'm not going to be able to be there because I'm too busy playing. But they've got over 4,000 head expected, lots and lots and lots of 450 to 650 pound long time weaned calves. I mean hard weaned, and these cattle got condition, guys. High altitude desert cattle, you can't beat them. Jack Payne told me, he said, talk about bronc riders, he said Ira Slagowski has got a big string of 600-pound long-time weaned steers in there. They come from Pine Valley, Nevada there, one of his customers. But get on DVAuction.com if you can't make it to Fallon, Nevada, and check out that sale. How about your big sales on Thursday? Farmers and Ranchers Livestock, 3,300 head. According to the Kansas USDA government report there, all the cattle sold sharply higher except for steers weighing exactly 550 pounds, and they were $10 lower. That's the kind of market reporting you get in Kansas nowadays, guys. There's no training there, and they shouldn't even be putting their reports out. It's a joke. Winter Livestock and Pratt didn't have their report out by the time I did this video, so I didn't get that. Their NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day was Ogallala Livestock Auction in Ogallala, Nebraska. 4,500 head of feeders come through there. You look at this automated market report through Cattle Market Central, and even check out the gains there on the weighted average. Just huge gains. Of course, this was a special sale, included a lot of fancy consignments there, but look at your best tested weights. 455 head of 4-weight steers, average 452, with a weighted average price on all of them of $327.80. My goodness. How about 1,046 head of 5-weight steer calves? They average 543 with a weighted average price on nearly 1,050 of them of $305.70. Wow. 543 head of 6-weight steer calves in Ogallala, average 621. The weighted average price of $276.76. Look at some heifers. How about 668 head of 4-weight heifers, average 453 at $304.21, and 578 head of 5-weight heifer calves, average 534 at $269.88. Lamona Livestock, Lamona, Iowa, sells a load of steers weighed 782 at $225.25. Thought that was pretty impressive. And a stick-out individual quote from Ogallala was 77 steer calves weighed 521 at $319.50, and that wasn't even the top quote. The most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday, in your Macrocin No BS top quote for the day, come from the Fairview, Illinois sale barn. Rex McClure steers that were professionally assembled by Curran Cattle Company from Iowa. They had a load of steers, weighed 847, bring 236. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.